Good morning and welcome to the 2015 Student Spaceflight Experiments Program National Conference. My name is Mike Holzlander and I am the manager of on-site learning at the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum. I'm also a member of the review board for SSEP. I reviewed many of your proposals and all I can say is, wow. Your involvement in real-world space research is exactly the kind of story we like to tell here at the museum. Now, I had this passionate speech planned for this morning, welcoming you to the museum, letting you know how important your research and your stories are to the museum. I'm not going to get into all of that, but please remember, we do believe that the National Air and Space Museum is fully behind the Student Spaceflight Experiments Program, and we are so incredibly proud of all of the work you do getting to this point of the conference and all of the research you do. You are truly scientists in our eyes, and I think everybody should give themselves a hand. So instead of my passionate speech, I'm going to cut right to the chase, and I'm going to introduce the Center Director for the National Center for Earth and Space Science Education. And this is the person, this is the guy, the central person, the key figure that has made all of this possible, and it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Jeff Goldstein.
Hello everybody, welcome to the 5th annual conference. We certainly had an interesting start. I need to pick up on one thing that was supposed to be part of the keynote address that we didn't do. I would like all of this next generation of scientists and engineers, all of the student researchers with us today, to stand up, please. I would like to say that we view all of the students standing as microgravity researchers. They had to go through every one of the same gates as any professional microgravity researcher that wants to fly something on station. The gates included flight safety review at Johnson Space Center, meeting remarkable deadlines, working against constraints imposed by a real flight operational mini laboratory. You stepped to the plate and you've done remarkable things, and we expect great things as a nation from you. So again, thank you so much. Can we have all of the teachers and administrators stand up? At the local level, this program is powered by everybody standing up. We could not have delivered this program without the remarkable local teams in every one of the communities represented here. We've got 24 SSEP communities represented. Thanks so much. And let me ask also my staff to be recognized. Where are Stacy and John? And I don't know if Tim is here, or Harry, or Drew, our Director of IT, John Hamill in the back, Stacy Hamill, Mike Holzlander, even though he is a senior staffer here at the Air and Space Museum. He's also an adjunct on the center at the National Center. Who did I miss? Tim is where? Tim Livengood is in the back. Okay, so staff, everybody, this could not be possible without you. I have the pleasure of working with absolutely remarkable people. So with that, I wanted to provide you a sense of what we've done together very quickly. And if we can go to the first PowerPoint. Okay. So I wanted to give you a sense of what we've done together with this program. We've had 10 SSEP flight opportunities since program inception in June of 2010. That included the last 2 space shuttle flights, flights of Endeavour and Atlantis, STS-134 and 135. And we transitioned over to the age of commercial space with missions 1 through 8 to the International Space Station. The 11th flight opportunity, mission 9, starts in September of 2015. So the fact that we've gone through 11 flight opportunities in just 5 years is absolutely amazing. 110 communities have participated to date across the U.S. and Canada. 149 community programs have been conducted. 25 communities have participated in 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 flight opportunities. And Paula DiDiego, who leads the Fitchburg, Massachusetts team, is about to start their 7th flight opportunity with Mission 9, which really points to the sustainable nature of the program. As a benchmark, the mission with the largest number of communities to date was Mission 7, 24 communities, and I'm really proud to say the local teams across the 24 communities engaged formally 10,600 students in real microgravity experiment design. 2,521 flight experiment proposals were submitted by student teams, resulting in 24 flight experiments. For Mission 9, we're expecting possibly 28 communities working to come aboard, and 11 are returning communities. Okay, since program inception, 49,260 grade 5 through 16 students have been involved in experiment design and proposal writing. 11,150 experiment proposals submitted, and not counting Mission 8, students submitted 42,600 mission patches as part of their art and design competitions across the communities. Do we have any mission patch artists with us today? I don't know if we do. We do? Congratulations. You represent 42,600 mission patches that have been submitted since program inception. 113 experiments have flown to low Earth orbit. 25 were just lost for Mission 7 on SpaceX 7, and we're moving forward with NanoRex and NASA to figure out how we can refly those as soon as possible. 15 more experiments are flying on Mission 8, hopefully by the end of this year. And this is our 5th conference at the National Air and Space Museum. This is a summary of the missions to date. You can see all of the missions, the names of the payloads that have flown, the launch dates and return to Earth. And I think what's important here is we've had, for the most part, all successful missions. We lost Orb 3 last October, but 17 of 18 of those experiments have been reflown on SpaceX 5. And we unfortunately lost experiments on SpaceX 7, but we will refly them. And I know that about half of the audience here are Mission 7 communities. We are committed to make sure that your experiments go to the International Space Station. And we're only 5 years old, which is pretty amazing. So I think with that, I'm going to introduce somebody that many of you know very, very well. She's absolutely incredible as our flight operations manager, Stacy Hamill.
Good morning, everyone. Today, we're so close to the loss of SpaceX CRS-7, a loss that impacts all of those who work in support of and are dedicated to America's space program. I am honored to stand at this podium in this remarkable museum and welcome you to the 5th National Conference for the Student Spaceflight Experiments Program. We have seen unprecedented success with SSEP, and much of that success is due to the intelligence and ingenuity of the student researchers. I am consistently amazed at the caliber of professionalism and positivity that you have displayed. SSEP students have come face to face with tragedy and obstacles, tragedy as momentous as the loss of spacecraft, and obstacles as commonplace as failed experiments and timeline challenges, and now even security lockdowns at the museum. But through it all of you have remained completely unshaken. And not only are you unshaken, but you are pushing forward and remaining dedicated to the experience, to SSEP, and for those of you that lost experiments, to flying again. And let me reassure you, just as Jeff did, we will fly your experiments. We thank you for inspiring us and for pushing SSEP beyond anything we could have imagined. To the teacher facilitators, we thank you for your dedication to your students, your response to hundreds of questions, and dozens of confirmation of receipt of emails. To the community directors, we thank you for believing in SSEP as much as we do and for your efforts in bringing the program to your communities. To Jeff, the creator and the mastermind behind SSEP, we thank you for working tirelessly, for sharing your brilliance and creativity, for inspiring us, and for always, always reminding us that this is real spaceflight all the time. Welcome to the conference, everybody. Good morning.
Let me just tell you what I think we should do here. I think what we should do is try to compress this as much as possible. I think what we'll do is not do the Q&A to try to save some time, certainly for the first block and possibly the second block. This is a real research conference. We promised authenticity, which means that there'll be a 1-minute warning before the end of your time, and at the end of your time, as soon as you finish your sentence, we'll say thank you very much, even if you're not finished with your talk. So that's why it was important to rehearse in advance. This is a real research conference. So I am going to go to the microphone over here and call up the first block of Mission 5 and Mission 6 communities. For the first time, we have 4 missions represented, and we decided to keep them clustered. So we're going to do Mission 5, 6, 7, and 8 in that order through the 2 days of conference time. Does anybody have any questions before we begin? Ready to have some fun? All right.